All right, everybody. So the 5 trading techniques to exit winning trades with more profit. All right, so when is the best time to exit your trade and keep as much profit as possible? This is one of the #1 questions I get, right? Trading it's controlled by our greed and our fear. Some might say pain and pleasure. And one of the hardest things, in my opinion, for new traders, and you know what, maybe not even necessarily just new traders, but even middle to experienced traders, is exiting trades with profit, right? We get into a trade, it's going our way, we're feeling all this pleasure, we're happy, and the next thing you know, we give it all back. Or we give away a lot more of the profit than we should. So this is the #1 question that I get, believe it or not, is, hey, we're in profit. When is the best time to exit to keep as much of those profits as possible? Now, just really quickly, an exit strategy is a very important part to any trading plan. Now, a lot of my students know that in order to trade successfully, you should, and maybe not necessarily always, but these are the rare exceptions, you should have a trading plan. And built into that trading plan is an exit strategy. You should have a exit strategy, not just a stop loss, but a profit strategy. Okay, you should not enter any trade without having an exit plan. And again, not just goes against you when we're actually in profit. So the exit is just as, if not more important than the entry. Anybody can get in a trade. Exiting that trade with profits is a lot more difficult. So first, really quickly, there's 2 types of traders. I'm going to focus more on this first one. I'll touch a little bit on the next one. I might do that in another video, but most of the people that follow my channel and my students were shorter term traders. Now, everybody's definition of shorter term, it's different. My definition is any trade that lasts between 2 days and 4 weeks. That's what I consider a short-term trade. Now, a trend trader. Now, you can be a short-term trend trader, but when I think of trend trading, I think of like the Warren Buffett type of approach or the Investools education that I learned from. It's getting in a trend and riding that trend until it ends. You know, one of my mentors told me, again, a trend trader, your job is to trade the trend until the trend ends. Short-term trading, he would say, trade the trend until it hits your profit target or your price target. So there's 2 types of traders. Okay, there's fundamental as well, I get it, but this is the 2 that I'm going to focus on, but I'm going to lean heavily towards the shorter term trader because the majority of my students and people who watch my channel, they're shorter term in nature. All right, so here we go. Get out your notepads. This is going to get good, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a concept, and then I'm going to actually go to the charts, and I'm going to show you on the chart, okay? Very important. Here are my favorite ways to exit a profitable trade. #1, the Forecast Pro indicator, okay? So this is a brand new indicator that I just came out with the other day. I don't know when you're watching this video, but short-term trading, I use this indicator in a variety of ways to exit my profitable trade. So let me go into a trade and let's show you what I'm talking about. Now, this is my TD Ameritrade platform. So let me do this. This is EXAS. So I've got a lot of indicators on here, which we'll get to in a second. But for this illustration, I'm just going to go here, and I'm going to click Edit, and I'm just going to leave the Forecast Pro. Okay? I'll put those others later, but we're talking about exiting profitable trades. So a lot of people who might follow my channel, oh, you know what, let me put the Squeeze Pro back on there because this will come in handy. Okay, so let's put the Squeeze Pro. So we got the Squeeze Pro and the Forecast Pro. And I'm just using the Squeeze Pro because a lot of the people who follow my channel trade the squeeze. So let's focus on, we're going to start right here. We're going to look at a couple charts. I want to make sure that this really sinks in. So the indicator that I'm going to be looking at is the Forecast Pro. Information is down below. It's a brand new indicator. So let's go ahead and take a look at this period right here, right, with the squeeze. So we're in an uptrend. Let's say we get into this squeeze, and we could there, but let's say we get into a squeeze. A lot of my listeners know that, right? The squeeze is the contraction of volatility. So we got into the squeeze, anticipating the squeeze to fire. And all of a sudden, bam, the squeeze fires in the direction that we wanted to go, right? In line with the existing trend. So how do we get out? Well, one of the ways that I get out is I use this Forecast Pro. So I'm going to share with you two ways, okay? So just imagine you're in a trade, you got in, and boom, it fires in your direction. We're in profit. So in this period, what do? So a couple things is, this indicator has all sorts of cool stuff going on, but this green line is my intermediate momentum. Now, intermediate momentum is, in this particular case, this is what I use for my, shorter term type of trading. It's called the intermediate momentum, but this is what I use for my squeeze. So, a couple things. When this green line is extended in the upper zone and it leaves, boom, right there. That's an indication that, hey, you know what? This trend might be rolling over. I'm going to move my stop loss up. So, for example, if I had got in this squeeze, right, it went up, and then it didn't quite make it in the upper zone, so you could have stayed with it. Boom. Here, and then it exited right there. So, this, again, we're going to build into this, but this is an easy way. So, if I get into a squeeze and it fires in my direction, I'm watching this green line, and then when it exits the zone, I can either exit my trade for whatever profit I got. It's very simple, it's very clean, and it's very mechanical. I could even use that as an indication to move my stop loss up. So you can just simply use the green line. Now, another thing you can do is, you see I have light green and I have dark green. So when it goes from dark green to light green, that's representing a shift in momentum. So if I got into this squeeze trade right here and it fired in my direction and I saw that we shifted momentum, at that particular case, I could get out or move my stop loss up. Now, we're not going to get out at the exact top. That's not what we're trying to do. We're looking for a very clean way to get out of trades, a very mechanical way, and we can use this green line. It's very easy. Now, another way, a little bit more advanced, is you're going to see this blue line, and you're going to see this line that forms and these red dots. These red dots mean divergences, right? I did a video a while back on divergences. It's basically a short-term shift in momentum. So if I'm in a squeeze and it fires to the upside and I get a divergence, and it's, again, you can see these lines right here, bam. In this case, it was starting to go up. We got the divergence. When I see that divergence, then what that's telling me is, hey, you better start protecting profit because we're running. I can use that as a way to move up my stop loss or just exit the trade. Very clean, very beautiful. And I mean, you can even go back to literally, I don't know how well you're going to see it, but right here. Let's just say I was in the trade. And it doesn't have to be a squeeze trade. It can be, I guess, a trade you're in profit. Look, we raced up. We got this divergence. I move up my stop loss. I'm out. And again, I can always get out when the green exit the line. So in reality, we can look at pretty much any chart. Okay? Again, this is a different chart, so we're in the trade. Perfect. Again, this is on the fly. So let's say we're in a squeeze, right? We're in a squeeze. We get in the trade. Bam, it's moving up. Look at that divergence. Look at that divergence. So at that time, we can just exit or we can move our stop loss up. Like it's telling us. It's extended. We got a divergence. We got the red dot. Hey, listen. Momentum's going down, price is going up, let's cut this trade. We can also, if we're in this trade right here, we're in the squeeze, it fires. This line shifted right there, okay? You can see it, it shifted colors. So at that particular stage, we could get out. Or we could literally wait until it comes out of the zone. So this is one of my favorite ways to exit profitable trades. So I'm in a squeeze, it's working, I get the green line leaving the zone, cut the trade, move the stop loss up, I get a divergence, cut the trade, move the stop loss up. That is going to save you so much profits, okay? And again, it doesn't have to be a squeeze, it can be a bull flag. So that is number one. Now, there's a lot of other things going on, but what I'm focusing with is this green line, okay? This green line really alerts me, get the heck out. The divergence is telling me, hey, we are pretty close to having a short-term correction. Book your profits, or at least raise up your profits. All right, let's keep going. So that's the Forecast Pro. It's brand new. Nobody has it but me. All right, another way is simply highs and lows. So again, let's kind of look at like a channel, for example. We can start with the channel. So you guys know, here's the low, here's the low, here's the highs, here's the highs. Now that's not drawn to perfection, but short-term traders will exit on the highs and lows. We call them maybe swing trading, right? I get in down here, it's working in my favor, just get out at the high, right? Get in at the low, get out at the high. And on the flip side, maybe it's going down and I'm trading to the downside, enter at this high, exit at the low. It's really as simple as that, right? Just highs and lows. So let's go look at some charts, and we'll just kind of close our eyes and randomly pick out one. Okay, and in this particular case, let's just zoom in right there. There you go. You see that divergence again, right? Bam! Called that top perfectly. But let's say we entered this to the downside, right? We sold right here at this downsloping 50, and we just targeted the low. And then basically you get this divergence back to the upside. Look, I mean, because it works both ways. I mean, this indicator points them all out, but you got the bullish divergence with the green dot and the line, and you get in and you target. Look at that. It almost came, and this was not planned. We literally just randomly picked one, and it went up to the high. And these divergences called the tops and bottoms, but it's literally just high, low, high, low. So let's just kind of go pick out another one. Maybe we can find a bullish one going up here. Let's see here. I'm trying to, again, you can even do this. Again, you incorporate this in the way you trade, but I'm just kind of pointing out. So let's say maybe you got in right there at that high, bearishly, bam. You probably wouldn't do that if it was counter trend. What I would say is, here's the low, and then a lot of traders will just exit at the high, okay? Especially if it's in a squeeze, like a little pinball. So highs and lows, highs and lows. And here's another one, right? It's gonna go back off, gonna go here. You got that divergence again. So what you could do is, I could draw a, remember kind of a zone or area, maybe right off, off of there. Let me just draw this here. Here, kind of like in that area. Okay. There's a lot of congestion. I like to, again, you're looking at highs and lows, support and resistance areas. But my point is, you can get in at the low when you see the divergence, and then just exit at the high. So, very simple, clean way, which a lot of you know, right? Lots of times they work good when somebody's swing trading, just pinball. But one of the things I would encourage you guys to do is, whatever the trend is leading into that squeeze or that channel, if it's up, just trade the lows, exit at resistance. When it's down, exit at in this case resistance, or enter resistance and get out support, right? Highs to lows, highs to lows. So that's another way to exit the trades. Highs and lows. All right, so now, Fibonacci extensions. Now, what I'm going to be sharing with you is just the way that I like to use it. There's no right or wrong answer. And one thing about Fibonacci extensions, as my mentor told me a long time ago, Fibonacci is a ruler. You can measure anything you want. But let me share with you how I use it. See if I can find a couple good examples for you. And again, I'm just kind of randomly picking out, anything. And let's find a nice squeeze trade that you guys might have got into. That's a black squeeze right here. I really want to find that super clean example. Let's go to this chart. See if I can find a good squeeze. No. And again, it works to the upside and downside. No. Let me just go to the SPY. All right. So we're looking at the SPX, right? Everybody knows the SPX. So let's alert our attention to this big old squeeze. Let me just find my drawing items really quickly. They disappeared on me. So right here. So we're going to alert our attention to this big old squeeze, right? Bam. Bam. You see I got into it the other day right there. All right, so one of the ways that I like to use the Fibonacci, and again, there is no right or wrong answer, is I will take my drawing items and I'll go to Fibonacci. And what I'll do is if this is the squeeze that I'm getting into, I'm going to go from high to low. Okay, high to low. So let me draw that for those of you that are new. So I'm in here, it goes up, goes down. So the highest high and the lowest low inside the squeeze. And I'm going to project it to, you can do the 1618 extension. Some traders will project it to the 127. Okay, so that's the Fibonacci. Sometimes what I'll do is take half profits at the 127 and I'll run it up to the 161. So let's just talk about this a little bit more so you can see it. And we'll do several examples, don't worry. All right, so we entered that squeeze trade right here. You can get out right there at that target, right? High to low. Now, I'm not saying you would have got in this. We're just using an example. Or you could have got out right there. So basically, you just measure that high and low, project the 127 extension, or the 1618. Let's go look at, hang on, let's go to black squeeze plus 52-week high. Here's some good ones. And let's see if we can find some ones that y'all might have actually taken. So y'all might have taken that one. Let's kind of go back in time. I know what a lot of my my traders trade. So let's go back here, kind of there. All right, so a lot of y'all might have got into this one right here. So you got this. Now we're still in a squeeze. This is McDonald's. So what I'm going to do is, there's the high, there's the low. So if I entered anywhere in that squeeze, then what I can do is I can actually just take my Fibonacci extension. Okay. Here, Fibo, and I'm going to go from high to low, and there you go. Almost to a T. It came up to the 1272, really close. One thing I will stress, guys, is price targets are zones or areas. One of the things that I would encourage you to do if you're using the 127 extension or the 1618, don't put your target at the exact price. I like to go a little bit under it. Everybody else is seeing these same levels. So if you would have moved it under, you could have got, boom, picked off, your target, and maybe somebody else didn't. So it's as simple as that. Whenever you see a squeeze, measure from high to low and project the Fibonacci targets. Now, let's see here. We can go look for one more. Let's see if we can find like a really good channel. Okay, so I'm really looking for just kind of a channel. So even right now, right, this is Flex. So let's say Flex, my charts, just kind of go here to the middle. All right, so let's look here at Flex. And I like it because look at this channel, right? It's in a squeeze. So what you could do is you could take your Fibonacci tools, measure from high to low, and there you go. If you get in and it does fire in your favor, you can get out of the 127, the 1618, and what some traders will also do is they'll get out at the 200. Again, there's no right or wrong way, okay? You could use it as a scaling out technique. You know, you scale out part of your trades at the 1272, part here, and if it keeps moving in your favor, get out there. Again, you could use some of the technique we talked a minute ago. If it's going in your favor and it's at this Fibonacci and you get a divergence, now you're getting the divergence, but it's still in the squeeze, so there's really no profit. But if it's in our favor and then we get that divergence, cut the trade. Or it's at a Fibonacci extension and this green comes out of the zone, cut the trade. So multiple things, but I love the Fibonacci price target, and I also, like I said, I like to use the Fibonacci price target lots of times with another indicator. So let's keep going. That's Fibo. Now, early in and out candles. Some of you might know what this is, some of you might not. So let me talk about the early in and out candles and where to derive. So going back here, I'm going to go to Studies, Edit, and I'm going to put these early in and out candles. Early in and out. It comes with the Squeeze Pro, by the way. Okay, it comes with the Squeeze Pro. There you go. There are these colors. And what's super awesome about these colors is, these colors, for those of you that are new, you know how you have these colors on this TTM Squeeze Pro? Well, these colors represent the momentum on the histogram. When it's baby blue, we have strong bullish momentum. When it's dark blue, it's bullish momentum, but it's decreasing. When it's red, we have strong bearish momentum. And when it's yellow, we have the bearish momentum is getting weaker and it's moving more towards, you know, our bullish momentum. So what some traders will do, okay, is they'll use these early in and out candles. Let me go kind of find an area. And we'll just kind of go back in time to, all right, here's a good one. And again, this is on the fly. And I'll tell you how you can get all this stuff anyway before it's over. Just keep watching. All right, so let's alert our attention to right here. Beautiful squeeze, right? Beautiful squeeze. We were strongly bullish uptrending. Let's say we entered in the squeeze. Bam! It fired in our favor. As soon as you get that dark blue candle, so it goes from baby blue to dark blue. Even right here, baby blue to dark blue, that's telling us that, hey, we're still bullish, but it's starting to decrease. And lots of times, you'll see in a minute, this blue will come before this, which we'll talk about that. But again, these are the early in and out candles. They're really great. And how I like to use them is when I'm in a squeeze and it fires in my direction as it's going from baby blue, we get a dark blue candle, then what I can do is either exit the trade right there for my profit or move my stop loss up. Okay, because I know we might have, I don't know how deep the correction's going to be, if it's going to be one of these or it's going to be a couple bars. But I love the early in and out candles, okay? And in a minute I'll tell you, how you can get them. But let's back it off and let's just go to another trade. I'm kind of just doing this on the fly, but here's a good one. Well, this is the diamonds, right? The Dow Jones Industrial Average. So we got us a beautiful trend. So let's say we entered right here. This is perfect. We got this squeeze. It's an uptrend. We entered baby blue, dark blue, exit. Done. Okay? Perfect. So you get in that trade. It fires, goes in our favor. Baby blue, out. Okay? Take our money and run. You could use this in combination with Fibonacci extensions. So check this out. Let's kind of just dissect. This is a longer video, but it's so important. And for those of you that are still watching it, like, oh my gosh, it's going to be huge. Okay? And look at that. So you could say we're coming up to the 161 extension. We're still baby blue. Let me stay with the trade. Dark blue, out. okay? Dark blue out. There was no divergences on this one at that time, but that is another way that you can exit, is using these early in and out candles. Now, the early in and out candles come with this indicator, the Squeeze Pro by Simpler Trading, okay? And you'll see down below the indicators, which I'm going to get to more in a minute. I am affiliated with Simpler Trading, and you guys know that if you use my link to get this indicator, I'm going to hook you up with over $2,000 of bonuses for free. Okay, you help me, I help you. But this early in and out candle for profits is massive, okay? Massive. And then I can go back here and I can exit and I can just take off my early in and out candles for the next segment, and let me just find them right here. Take them off, and then they go back to the other way, okay? Now, let's jump back into the PowerPoint. TTM Squeeze Pro Histogram. You guys know that you follow my channel. I love the TTM Squeeze Pro. With no further ado, let's get into that. So we just talked about the early in and out candles. Now, these are the regular candles. So let's say you get into a squeeze and it fires in your direction, right? You get into a squeeze, fires in your direction. So the way that you can actually use the histogram, okay, let's go like this. Now remember, the early in and out candles, they represent the histogram. And lots of times they will lead the histogram, but some traders are very comfortable just looking at this and using this. So here's what you can do. So you're in a squeeze, it fires. Now, as soon as you get that blue shift, right, from the baby blue or cyan to dark blue, couple things. You can use that as a place to exit if you want, move your stop loss. Some traders, what they'll do is, and I think this is what they teach, is they wait for two histogram bars in a row to get out. Okay, there's no right or wrong answer. But when you're in a squeeze, I'll find a better one in a minute, and it fires in your direction, one bar, you can move your stop loss up, get out, or you can wait for 2 bars, right? 2 bars. So if we go just kind of pick any chart, that's a nice uptrend. And look, squeeze, fire, second bar, out. First bar, move your stop loss up. So again, that's a very clean and easy way to exit with profit. Because look, if the squeeze fires in our direction, we are in profit, right? If I'm in an uptrend and I'm getting into the squeeze, assuming it's going to fire to the upside, when I get 2 bars on the histogram, I better at least be moving my stop loss up. At least moving my stop loss up. Or I can get 1 bar, move my stop loss up. Or if I have the early in and out candles, lots of times they'll lead this. But you can use the TTM Squeeze Pro histogram. And when you're bearish, again, I'm not going to do a bearish, but you would just, it would be red. And then when you got 2 yellows, move your stop down. Or 1 yellow, move your stop down. So that is another clean way, and again, the early in and out candles beat that. You can combine these with Fibonacci extensions. Forecast Pro gives you divergences, and so it even leads lots of times on that. But let's keep rolling. Oop, not that. Here we go. The Ready Aim Fire Pro. So this is another way that you can exit a trade profitably. The Ready Aim Fire Pro by Simpler Trading. So let's go ahead and look at that. Now let's go ahead and let's go to, I'm just going to go back to my style really quickly, and let's put on the Ready Aim Fire Pro. Now I got a bunch of stuff, so I'm going to keep the squeeze on, but I'm going to remove this Forecast Pro for a minute. And I'm going to expand it up and expand it up. Okay, so if you guys don't know how to use the Ready Aim Fire Pro, I have tons and tons of videos on that. I love it. So let's say you enter a squeeze, right? Boom, fires in our direction. So the way that I like to use it is when you see a red ready, it's like, this is the first stage, right? It helps us get ready. when you get the red aim as the second stage, right? A second sign of exhaustion. This arrow, after the ready aim, the arrow, that's considered the fire. So if you're going to use this as an exit, a way to hang on to your profits as long as possible, but have a clean mechanical way, if you're in the squeeze, it fires, you get a Ready Aim Fire Pro, which is right here, Ready Aim Fire signal, get out. Or at least raise your stop loss up. Okay, so I love that. And when it's going up, you're going to be looking for the red. When it's going down, you're going to be looking for this right here, the Ready Aim Fire to the upside. It points out we call it the signs of exhaustion, right? When, like in this case, the uptrend is pretty much coming to an end. And again, if I'm in profit, I want to know that. Or if it's going down and I'm trading to the downside, I'm in profit, I want to know that. So the Ready Aim Fire is huge for that. And you can combine that with all the stuff we talked about. So if we go, for example, just kind of randomly close our eyes and pick out one. And let's just go, ready, right here. Look at that area right there. So we had a squeeze. We entered the squeeze. It fired. Now, we already had, in this particular case, there wasn't a ready. The ready's back here. So in this particular case, we got another aim. So you're like, wait a minute, the last ready's here. We got an aim here. Again, this was before the squeeze. But this arrow, after the aim, you could say, that's it. Moving my stop loss up, getting out of the trade, protecting as much profits as possible. On the flip side over here, look, ready, aim, fire, bam, out of the trade. Out of the trade. This is a very clean way to get in. Well, you can get in the trade, but we're talking about exiting with profits. So let's keep kind of rolling. So let's do a recap, okay? So these are my favorite ways to exit a profitable trade. Again, it's easy to get into a trade. Getting out of the trade is what separates the retail traders from the professionals. Number one, the Forecast Pro. Amazing. Okay, amazing. I'll use the green line and those divergences. I also use it for entries, but since we're talking about profits, it can really help you hang on to a massive amount of profit. Highs and lows, Fibonacci extensions, 121 to 161. You can, again, combinations, raise your stop, get out like we talked about. Early in and out candles. Early in and out candles are a very beautiful way to exit profitable trades while you still got a profit. You can use the TTM Squeeze Pro histogram. No right or wrong answer. You can wait for 2 bars, 1 bar, whatever. Again, I encourage you to test something out, at least 50 to 100 times. Get it set in stone. And then the Ready Aim Fire Pro. These are my favorite ways. Now, I'm going to talk about a couple things. This TTM Squeeze Pro and the Ready Aim Fire Pro. If you do not have those indicators, it's through a company called Simpler Trading. Simpler Trading is an amazing company. They created those indicators, not me. But I am an affiliate with Simpler Trading. So down below in the description, if you get those indicators through my link, I'm going to hook you up with over $2,000 worth of bonuses for free. So you're going to get the indicator through them with my link, but I'm going to give you that free stuff on top of it. Check down below, because all you got to do is send me a screenshot that you got it through my link. And then I'll match it up, and if you did, I'll send you $2,000 worth of free stuff. Okay? The next is the Forecast Pro. Depending on you're watching this video, I literally just came out with this indicator. This is my indicator. You're not going to have the Forecast Pro anywhere. I love it. I use it for multiple things. Way more than just exits, okay? If you're interested in taking a look at that brand new indicator, down below, it should be the very first thing, new Forecast Pro. I highly encourage you to check it out. If you'd like to learn more about trading options, I encourage you to check out my Options Elite Masterclass and all the bonuses that I'm giving away this month, like my TTM Squeeze course for free, plus that Forecast Pro indicator. I'm giving that away free this month to anybody who gets my Options Elite Masterclass. So check down below in the description if that interests you. Now, if you like the TTM Squeeze Pro indicator,